What is going on YouTube? My name is Lucas and today we're going to be talking about TSNP, Tesoro Enterprises, and it will be changing very soon to Humbl, which will be the ticker symbol HMBL. I'm telling you guys, keep this on your radar. I am telling you guys, keep this on your radar. There is a ton of amazing information that is actually coming out very soon on this. I'm excited to bring you guys this video. This video is going to be hyped. I'm telling you. You know, most of the time I'm like, hey, if you're interested, you should be interested. So stay tuned right after this. Before we really start unraveling a ton of information, I ask that you guys smash that subscribe button, smash that like button, comment down below, and that's right, I'm bringing the hype, and I'm bringing you this video. Right, it's time to get into this video, and we're going to really provide a ton of information that is really going to make a ton of sense as we get going through this video. You know, obviously, Humbl is going to be a massive company. There's no question, especially when you see everything that is going into it and really what service it's going to provide. So the very first thing right out the gate, what I'm going to do is provide you a talking point from the conference call that happened recently here in December, and it's coming from CEO Brian Foote. And as he's going through his conference call, he gets to a stage in that conference call where he starts talking about basically tiers. And in those tiers, he talks about Web 1, he talks about Web 2, and he talks about how, you know, Humbl is going to be taking and they're creating and designing basically the entire mesh layer of Web 3. So Web 2 basically is created and was designed in a way by Facebook and by Instagram. It created peer-to-peer interaction. It created, you know, the ability to post pictures and to engage through that aspect peer-to-peer. Now what's going to happen is that is going to be taken a step further. And in Web 3, it's going to be blanketed. And so what I mean by that is you got to think commerces, e-commerces, you got to think governments, you got to think peer-to-peer, you got to think many other things that are going to be housed within Web 3. And they're going to be able to basically interact and engage very similar to how Web 2 or Instagram and Facebook designed it, but then you're adding the entire layer of, you know, engaging into exchange, and you're engaging into the platform and the ability to exchange money. So you're almost incorporating a Facebook and an Instagram, meshing it with the likes of a PayPal or a Venmo, and you got Web 3 and you got everything that is coming with that. So that's exactly what you're going to see in this snippet.
So Web 1 is essentially this, you know, wild proliferation of routers, wires, switches, the guts of the internet. You have companies like Cisco come along and others to put together something pretty simple for the consumer, where you don't see, or the enterprise, you don't see all these routers and wires and switches. You see a black box that's sort of that core protocol layer of the internet. Then the 2000s come around, and companies like Facebook and Instagram give us the opportunity to post a picture and leave a comment. So creating more of a read-write, user-generated content web. What we think Web 3 is the web of value, transactional value. So taking these high-speed rails of the internet, the peer-to-peer communications of Web 2, and packaging those into an elastic layer of Web 3 that moves more seamlessly across borders, across consumers, across merchants, across institutions, and across governments. And that's what we're building at Humbl.
So this next piece is really going to kind of show, you know, their business model, their plan, and really it follows a very similar path to the likes of Alibaba. And I do even believe that Brian Foote, CEO of this company, says, hey, you know, we are following very similar paths, but we're doing things just a little bit different, and we're doing it in a manner at which we feel is our way. And so it's pretty cool. We obviously see the success that Alibaba has, and obviously that is a major e-commerce. So that is a massive, massive deal and really to have a business model that has seen a great amount of success, you can't argue that this isn't going to be a good direction.
On the Humbl Studios and the artisan shops. So with that said, I'll just introduce you guys here on day one to the business model. This may look familiar because it's very similar to what Alibaba has done in China, which we applaud the way they've been able to take ground so quickly there. We obviously have very different design language and some things with the brand and some markets that we're going into that they aren't. But we think there's a great model to be had there. We don't want to reinvent the wheel. We just want to execute. So we have the Humbl Marketplace. We got the Pay Wallet, and then over time we will be announcing the Humbl Financial Division. We have some products there that we're awaiting further regulatory guidance on with our portfolio of law firms. So we're excited to roll those out over time as well.
You guys can see at the very, very end of that, he talks about Humbl Financials and really kind of needing to get some things approved before they really unveil it and provide it to the community and everyone that's invested in this company. So what I did is I went and really did some due diligence. I really started to dive deep, and I actually found that Brian Foote was the CEO of Block 30 Labs. And he actually did a conference, kind of a big talk in front of a group in Amsterdam. And it was based on this very subject matter that he had when he was the CEO of Block 30 Labs. So I'm going to kind of give you a little bit of a sneak peek of what maybe we can expect on January 22nd in the financial aspect, what they're really looking to unveil, because I think a lot of the framework, a lot of this has already been developed, and it's time to transfer it over to Humbl and then let it go, let this thing eat. So I'm going to dive into it. The first piece you're going to get is a 30-second segment that really is an intro to what Block 30 Labs is. That you're going to see, obviously, Humbl talk about a lot is going to be the financial side. And that is going to be a massive, massive piece. Now, this next snippet that I'm going to provide you is Brian Foote diving in deep on the financial aspect and really something that they've been developing for a long time at Block 30. Obviously, it's amazing, amazing to see. Block 30 Labs was doing some amazing things. And then, obviously, it switched to Humbl. And so I think what you're going to see in this snippet really is a lot of telling information and maybe a lot of things that we can expect, obviously, coming up on January 22nd. Now, a very, very cool sneak kind of leak happened on Twitter. And I'm going to provide that picture to you right now. And all credit to this Twitter person, because unbelievable find. And what's absolutely cool is you're going to see that they actually added a financial section to the website of Humbl, and it was only up very, very briefly, and then it was taken down. As you can see in there, a lot of the stuff that is going to be provided in this snippet is right there. Buy, sell, and it's unbelievable. So I do think that it was a sneak peek / leak on purpose, and it was only up for a very short amount of time. And so I really think that this next piece is going to be absolutely just clutch and huge for what we can expect here coming up in the near future with Humbl.
And then lastly, the third pillar of the stool is the financial product. So this is a really exciting product. We're actually running ahead of schedule on this, as we are with the rest of our entire project roadmap. This is a product that we had in mind. We put it out there last November, December. Hey, we're going to start taking digital assets, and in the exact same way as an ETF is a wrapper around stocks, we're going to put a digital wrapper around these other digital assets. Because a big part of these markets, and the reason why we only have 1% penetration so far globally, is that these markets go like this on price, right? And so people are scared. They go, oh, it's too hot to handle. I don't want to touch it. I heard it's a day trader's playground. And sometimes it is, and it is so. But we want to try to change that to guide major inflows. And the way that, the traditional financial markets have done that over the last, 25 years, ETFs have become a $4.5 trillion product line, simply because people said, okay, great. So with one click, I can own these 30 stocks in the Dow 30, and that's why we created the Block 30, is to start to take the Block 3, the Block 5, the Block 10, the Block 20, and the Block 30 over time, tie those to a really intelligent multi-factor index, and put them in a digital basket for the customer.
As if that wasn't exciting enough. Oh wait, there is more, and that's exactly what happens here. He really starts to dive in just a little bit more and provides you an even deeper perspective on exactly what you're going to see, hopefully on the 22nd. I do feel a lot of this is going to transition into Humbl. And what's amazing to see is all these pieces connecting the dots, creating and really sculpting this puzzle, putting it together, and this masterpiece is going to be going in a positive direction. They're going to be doing some big time things, and he really talks about everything that is going to be even more deeper into this finance section where you can buy, sell, do all kinds of things with even crypto, blockchain. It's amazing. So I'm going to provide it to you.
And then lastly, our financial division. So Josiah, this is not a bank. Promise. It's just an ability to take a decentralized public blockchain layer and lend it some immediate impact on the customer to be able to participate. So we don't have branches. We're not closed on Saturdays. We don't have hours. This is true economic activity in its purest form for the customer. And we wanted to do that in a way that gives people the ability to invest in one click, and that's absolutely critical. So if you see on the next slide, 57% of people are not investing, and that's huge. I mean, that's not a gap, that's a Grand Canyon, and it's really important for us to get people investing. This number goes to 99% in blockchain, and so it's great for all of us that are holding early if the market goes. But at the same time, we've got to get people in the mix. And a lot of that for the millennial, if you watch the way, and we did a lot of study of how they consume media or consume products, it's with one click in a basket. And so we need to be able to provide them with that. They go, okay, cool. So I can own the top 30 US stocks or European stocks in one click in this little round token on my phone. They're going to do that. You'll put spare balances to work on the blockchain if you can do that. We're calling it the Nest thermostat moment of finance.
Now, this last piece that I'm going to provide you is going to tie it all together. It's going to make all kinds of sense, and you're going to see exactly what I'm talking about, how everything that was really talked about with the Block 30 Labs will be incorporated into Humbl. And you're going to see that right now because Brian Foote really discusses it when he's going through the outlook of the company for Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. I'll go over everything in those segments, but this ties it all together, and this really seals the deal for me.
It's about the Humbl financial division. I want to get really clear guidance on what we can and can't roll out. We have some, we're all blockchain heads in the business, so we have some really clear stuff that we'd like to roll out. We've put together some multi-factor indices around digital assets. We've put around some digital asset financial products and tokenized asset baskets. So we're just going to kind of have to learn what products we can serve of our own into Humbl Financial and which ones we have to lean into for third-party partners based on the regulatory climate of the U.S., which we're very keen to be compliant with and knowledgeable of through our portfolio of law firms.
What I'm going to do is go over that entire growth strategy and really kind of discuss some of the things that we can expect here coming up very shortly, and then kind of expect, as we move forward into more futuristic quarters, and hopefully wrap up 2021. But I'm excited for this. So let's dive right into this. So Q4 2020, which already happened, and these are things that we could have expected to happen. So the reverse merger with Tesoro Enterprises, TSNP, which is the current ticker symbol, it was completed. So that is a completed task, and that is true statement. Launch Humbl Holiday Deals plus Marketplace. We saw that happen, and I actually discussed that in my last video that I did on Humbl. Now this one is still occurring, and I'm excited to see really what is going to be unveiled about this here coming up on January 22nd. So it says pursuing merger, acquisitions, and country rights. So I'm thinking that there is a chance that a big time discussion of Block 30 Labs could be discussed in this. and really kind of tie in everything I talked about in this entire video. Plus, I also think that there could be some other businesses that could be incorporated in that said acquisition talk. So now this is where it gets absolutely amazing. Q1 2021, because that's what we're in right now. So they requested the ticker symbol OTC, which is over to the counter, and it'll be trading as HMBL. That could happen any day now. So that would be an absolute news break and really a positive catalyst for this stock. Then it says begin testing live products in US/Latin American sandbox. That is something that you can see actually displayed on the video that they really advertise on the front of their website. So very cool, and we're expecting that to actually really begin testing live. Now, this is, a key aspect which we just covered. Humbl financial announcements. I'm really looking forward to that. I do think a lot of that is going to be tied in, like I said, to the Block 30 Labs. And I think that a lot of information is really going to come about of that. So now continuing into Q2 2021, global launch into key zones, diving even deeper, getting a lot more access to a lot more, key areas that they're really focusing on getting into. US, Latin America, Africa, Oceania, and APAC. Audited company financials. We're starting to see some things really get in deep with the company. So audited company financials, continue JV/vertical sales, government banking, wireless, and merchant partners. So that is expected to be wrapped up in Q3 2021. And then the big monster piece, which I'm also looking forward to, is Q4 2021, which will be Humbl Shareholder Conference. Absolutely massive to really wrap out the year. And I think that, as we transition through the year, and if a lot of this stuff is accomplished, that's going to be a celebration. That's going to be an absolute amazing shareholder conference. And then it says Humbl Affiliate Sales Market Leaders Awards. So you can see they really do have a great plan developed out for the entire quarters of, obviously 2021. Something to really look forward to. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this entire breakdown, really kind of unveiling some leaked information, really kind of tying some things together. Hopefully it all made sense. Hopefully you guys connected the dots, very similar to the dots that I connected. I'm excited for this company. I think that this company has a massive future. I think with them being led by CEO Brian Foote, that's amazing in itself, because he has such a vision and he has a lot of good support around him that are making things happen. And this is truly going to be something special, I believe. I do want to remind you guys, I am not a financial advisor, and anything I say in this video is for pure entertainment purposes only, and that's exactly what I'm here to do, is entertain. And you guys know how I do it. If you like this video, smash that like button. It helps out tremendously. It truly does. And if you enjoy the content, because I'm going to keep the content flowing, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Every video, I also want to remind you, that was posted in this video is going to be down in the description, so you guys can go click on it and watch each and every one of those videos. It's absolutely amazing to see. So those will be down in the description. And as always, have a good day.